Hello, welcome back. I know it's been quite some time since I last posted. So yeah, I've forgotten how to do this. So I apologize now, this is probably going to be a bit of a mess and a bit of a ramble. Mainly because I wasn't planning on doing this. But then I had a day off. Oh God, what's happening with my hair? Jeez. So I've got a day off today and I don't know, I just felt just called to come on and say hi, apologise I haven't been on for basically a year, and the usual, let's say. So I've kind of missed doing these videos, to be honest, but a quick life update. I should probably introduce myself because I realised I haven't done that either. So I'm Sam, which I guess I would like to think you would have guessed by now if you hadn't. Yes, so I'm Sam, this is my channel where I talk with everything cross stitch and crafting, that type of thing. It's my corner of the internet. I'm also on Instagram as Sewing Sam, which to be honest, and there I'm more active. So yeah, as I said, I started to ramble on. I decided today, I've got a day off, I don't know, just got up, decided that, you know what, I could do a FlossTube. So this is going to be a bit of a mess, but what I've decided I will kind of do is give a little quick life update to where I kind of disappeared from last year, because I did a FlossTube in January or February, and then kind of stopped. I kind of disappeared off the face of the earth, but on Instagram I was still kind of present. So yeah, I thought I would give you guys a little bit of an update as to why that happened. And then I thought I would just go over a lot of the things I've done so far in 26. I don't think there's any point doing, me personally, I don't want to do a whip parade. I don't want to go over stuff that's too like historic, but I thought it's quite nice. We're at the end of a quarter. You can tell my brain's at work still, even though I've got a day off. We're at the end of a quarter today. Yeah, this is how much of a mess this channel is today. Today is the 31st of March. There you go, context. So yeah, for those of you who are new, I'm originally from the UK, but I live in Germany, and I've lived here for too long to count now. So yeah, I thought I would just give a little bit of an update as to what I've done so far this year, kind of my approach to stitching this year, but it's just slightly changed in comparison to previous years. The setup, you might have noticed too, is slightly different. I'm in a different part of the house today, so I'm hoping it's not too loud, because here it's quite a busy road. And I know from when I work in this spot too, so when I work from home, and people haven't complained about the noise. I've done other stuff here when you don't hear the traffic, so I'm hoping for today it's going to be okay. Let's see. I also have no idea how the lighting will be, but I'm thinking it should be okay. Logic being that where I filmed before is literally directly above us. So I'm hoping it's going to be similar-ish lighting. I know it's not going to be the exact same. So yeah, now the waffling is out of the way, and I need to remember to look at the camera and not look at the screen. And I'm also using my phone for the first time in ages, because I think my phone camera is not better than the camera I have on my PC. But let's see, this is going to be a bit of an experiment today. So yeah, and I'm going to stop saying So I would say, I have no idea how long this is going to be either. So let's start. So as I said, I'm going to, so that was a bit of a preview. I'm going to use the last couple of months, I think, just to kind of start afresh and sort of say what I've done so far this year, what my intention this year for stitching is, maybe what I've done so far for my stitching, and just kind of what I want to touch on, what I want to do. And then I'm going to put a little bit of haul at the end, so I understand if you don't want to hang around for that, but let's start. So I thought I would use in my videos today something that I'm using a lot of when it comes to my planning, my tracking, my upstate, and you've probably seen everybody talking about this, but this is Stitches Almanac, and I'm really hoping, I did a little test earlier and the camera did flip this around, so I'm really hoping that this does flip around in the video you're seeing. If not, this is from Stitching Cabin, sorry, and it's the Almanac. I had the one last year, loved it. So I've been using it again this year, just to kind of plan roughly what type of things I want to be doing, and I also had to track my finishes, what I've actually done on what day, because I find that interesting. So let's go back to January, which feels like only yesterday. Excuse me. Feels like only yesterday, but it's been a while. So as you can see, I did quite a lot. Sorry, there we go. Quite a lot of stitching in January for me. I give each project, by the way, a different colour, so I can see really quickly what I've been working on. So as I'm sure you can imagine, there was a lot of like hangover from Christmas stitching. So I signed up last year for 2 stitch-alongs or SALs, and they kind of came in the advent boxes that I'd ordered. So the first one, which was my first finish, and I'll show you in a second, was from Broderie and Colour. And every year they kind of do this really nice advent box where you get 24, 25, I think 25 little parcels. And the majority, so like one day is like a stitchy thing, one day is a present thing, let's say. And you get the floss and the pattern, and you get 2 days to stitch it before the next bit. Now, I will level with you, I've never managed to finish this on time, ever. But I think I'm fine with that, it's okay. And it's kind of a secret design. Well, no, it's not kind of, it is a secret design, but you kind of know the theme maybe a little bit before. So for those of you who've been here before, you'll see I've done this most years. So we had, I think last year was Reindeer, I might be getting this completely wrong, but we've had Reindeer Games before, we've had the Christmas Carol one, we've had, what else have we had? There was a Christmas, Polar Express type thing, it was like a train. There's been quite a few, let's put it that way. And this was the 2025 one, and the theme was "Twas the Night" before Christmas. Yeah, "Twas the Night," and I think you get the idea. It was this. So I think this is one of my favourite ones that Leanne and the team have done. So every day you've got like a different colour. So if I zoom in a little bit, you can kind of see the detail on the fireplace and stuff. So all the different colours here were a different day, and then you kind of stitch that up. And the picture takes place as you go. So I think the first bit we had was one of the greens, I think. I don't remember now. But, and the picture kind of, oh, the siren's going I think now, so you might hear it, you might not, I don't know. So this was kind of the first, so yeah, this was the design. I think it's gorgeous and it's coming up really good on camera actually. The colours are really, the lighting here is really good actually. So yeah, it's kind of coming up very true to life. I love stitching this. I thought it was beautiful. So I did it on a 32 count linen, which is dyed by the Forbidden Fibre Co. As are all the flosses. Some of them are variegated. So if you look at the moon, I don't know whether this is going to show. You can see the slightly different colours in that. That's the variegation here. So yeah. It is personalised, but not that you can actually tell now, which I'm very happy about. So there's a bit of fudging done at some points. But yeah, so that was my first finish of the year. And I finished that back in, and I need to open the book again because it closed shut as I was showing you. So I finished that on the 10th of January, which I think was quite good considering I didn't get much stitchy time. And then my second piece I worked on and finished this year. I finished on the 21st of January, and it was also, as I said, an advent box. Oh god, someone's really going crazy. And this was from the Historic Sampler Company, and this was Magic Cool Gingerbread House. Again, it was an advent box that had, and this was a stitch along, and I got it with the advent box. So 2 separate things, I apologise. But this is the final finish here. Absolutely love this piece. I love the colours. I'll be honest, it was the gingerbread that sold it to me, and this house, I'm so glad came at the end, because that was a lot of stitching, but it was a nice stitching, if that makes sense, because I did the outline of the roof, I did the outline of all the white bits here that you can see, and then I just honestly filled in the gingerbread bit and then did all the other bits. So that was really nice. Again, this is on a 32 count linen. Yeah, linen. You can cut out pajamas with the called for DMCs. And I think you can still probably get the pattern, maybe not the kit, I'm not sure, but you can definitely get the pattern probably on Historical Sampler's website. So yeah, that's this one. So I'm thinking I know I say this before, I'm thinking of a cushion because what you can't see, if I move slightly, no you can't see, you can see the lamp, that's my reading corner. So I've got my books here, and then behind me is a really nice comfy chair, and I'm thinking that that could make a nice cushion at Christmas. But we'll see. So that was my second finish, and again, I'm very happy with that. I thought I did that quite quickly. And so that was January, and my goals for January were, if I just go, bear with me, to my goal section, because you have a nice little bit here too, that's your monthly goals. I wanted to finish, it was the night before Christmas, so the Forbidden Fibre, ding. I wanted to finish Magic Gingerbread House 2, ding. And the next thing I said, I wanted to finish the top quarter of Castle Homecoming. So that was my plans for January. I did do this, but I'm not going to show you just yet, because then my plans for February were to finish Castle Homecoming. So Castle Homecoming was also a sale, so stitch along, from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery back, and I don't remember what year it was. I have a feeling it was 2023, I think. And I was doing really well. I kept up for it for quite some time because I honestly adore this piece. I think it's one of my favourite pieces I've stitched. And then it just kind of put it to one side. No idea why. I'm blaming other stitch alongs that came in. In fact, I'm probably blaming Lily Créations aquarium for that one. But as you can see, February, sorry, excuse me, just need to go get some water. I think I haven't spoken this long for quite some time. There we go. So I finished it. And honestly, I think this is one of my favourite things I've stitched in quite some time. I absolutely love it. I'm really happy as well that I had left the border until the end, because that was really nice, a really nice way of stitching, because I know that's not how so backtrack. When I realised I had stopped stitching this and I was playing catch up, I was still doing it part by part, so the parts that they released, I was stitching that as I went. But then I saw this, and I was like, this border bit came out, I think, before the clouds and the magic here. And I didn't want to do the clouds and the magic last. Like, don't get me wrong, I like a cloud. They were really nice and easy to stitch because they were essentially, I could just sort of fill them in. But this bit, I don't know, it was just way more fun to stitch. So I kind of went a bit rogue there. But I absolutely love this piece. I do think my favourite fella is the dragon, closely followed by my fisherman troll. But yeah, I thoroughly loved this. And now I must admit I was quite sad when I finished it. This was stitched on 32 count linen, the cord for linen, because I actually got the kit from Frosted Pumpkin. Or was it the homemaker? Oh no, but it was the kit with all the cord for DMC, and I can't remember what the fancy floss is. I think it's Classic Colourworks, but I'm not entirely sure. There was 2 fancy flosses here. And yeah, I just love how the flowers look. Like, I must admit, the back stitching really came out, especially on my thistles. So these fellas, I think they've turned out very well. If it will focus on it. Just try something. Nope, okay, it doesn't want to focus. So yeah, that was my third finish, which I finished on, so if I go to my February pages, please hold. That I finished on the 15th of February, which was really nice. And then I had a new start in February, which then became a finish in March. Who am I? What is this? My 4th finish of the year, which was the, now I need to look it up, bear with me. It was the Cotton and Twine box, and I don't remember, I think it was last year. Cotton and Twine box last year. Easter greet, Happy Easter, Happy Easter. So, it's this gorgeous little piece, which I thoroughly love stitching. The colours are just, wow, they made me happy. So in February, when it was a bit dull and horrible, this really made me happy. I need to finish it, which is why we go back to my monthly goals for Q1. You'll see here, finish Easter greetings, did it. FFO Easter greetings. I haven't done that yet. So let's be honest, it's not going to happen today. It might happen before Easter, but it's a week, not even a week away. So I might just have to do a finishing fest at some point and just finish a load of stuff up at once, but let's see. So this was on, again, I think it was the box provider suppliers. So those of you who maybe aren't familiar with cotton and twine, I think most people probably are by now, but for those of you who aren't, you can get 3 different ways of the cotton and twine stuff now. You can get a simple PDF, which I must admit I do most of the times now, just because I don't want to pay for the toll between, because obviously I'm based in Germany, cotton and twine are in the UK, so anything that's sent over I have to pay a toll on and customs, and I don't really want to do that for everything. So I do PDF a lot because I've also got a lot of threads left over from previous kits / my own thread supplies, because the ladies are very generous with the supplies they give. So yeah, so you can get the PDF and stitch it yourself. You can get the kit supplies, which is the fabric, the needle, I think, the pattern obviously, and the threads, and then you can get the box, which comes with a nice little treat, a tea, and a nice little gift. So depending on what your budget is, what you have, it's a really, it's perfect. And what you can also do is pause your subscription if you don't like the pattern of 1 month, restart. So I might do that too. So yeah, this was the design from last year. I think, I don't know whether you can get, I don't want to lie, but check the website if you like the pattern, because you might be able to get it on the website. So yeah, this is the last finish I've had so far for 2025. And if I just quickly go to February, because now we're in February, we're in March, but in my projects we're in February. We have here, what over the side, sorry. We have I started Easter greetings, and then we have, I don't know if you'll be able to see this because it's very yellow, springtime scrapbook. And this is a collaboration project? No, collaboration. There we go. Between Steph from Lindy Stitches and Janine from the Blue Flower. And it will, so there's 2 ways of doing this. You can either do it as like one big pattern, or you can make little cushions of the individual designs. I've gone for the one big pattern option. So it will look like this when it's done. So it's 9 different squares. I think last time I showed this, I don't even know if I've shown this before on the channel. I had done, so I'm also copying the layout of this because it's really nice. I had done this box. Before I picked this up this year, I had done that top box. Whether I had done that and shown you guys, I don't know. But this year, I picked it up. I'll show you. And I added the little, I want to call them fur red pandas, and I know they're not, the foxes, in here. So this is what I did in February, and I think in March, did I do it March? Hold on, I'm just checking. No, this is what I did in February. So this was, so excuse me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Apparently 6 times stitchings, which I must admit could be legit, because it is quite a simple, like, they are quite nice, easy things to stitch. Like, it's nice brain off type stitching. And yeah, so I had the birds last year and this year. And this I've named actually in one of my goals for the year, something I really want to make more progress on. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do that now. It's not that I don't love it, but I'm very much a fan of seasonal stitching. So what I've said I'm going to do, still in March, so I might do this later today, is start the last square down here, which, please hold, is going to be these cute hedgehogs, which I'm quite looking forward to. So I'm definitely going to try and get the square in, because the squares are what takes the, like, not the longest, but the most concentration, because you have to get them the right size. Like, doing this bit's quite okay, but it's coming down. That's the trouble. You know, when you haven't got anything to measure it off of, it's quite tricky. So I'm going to do that. And then maybe I'll do like a couple of hedgehogs in April. I'm not sure, let's see. So yeah, that was kind of another goal that I had set myself, to do this square in February, which I did, and I'm really happy about that. I'm using the called for fabric, which I can actually tell you because I've got the bit of paper here. Here's a 32, this is 32 count, Silver Fox Linen by Fabric on a Whim. And I'm using the Cord for Weeks Dye Works flosses and DMCs. And yeah, I'm loving how it's looking. It's looking very cute. So that was another goal for the year, or is another goal for the year, which, so I need a sip of coffee. I made myself a coffee and I don't want cold coffee before I want to drink when I finish, so. Sorry. So yeah, that was a big goal I have for 2026, is to try and make a bit more progress on that. Yes, so that was February. February was very productive, did really well. And then in March, I finished the Easter greetings, so the one you just saw. And then instantly picked up, because it had come in the post in the meantime, the 2026 Cotton Twine Easter design. So this was from February. It's called the February box because the boxes get delivered at the end of the month. So you subscribe to it in that month. So although it says February, yeah, that was the month you subscribed for, and it arrives, well, at least for me, normally in March, like the month after. So this was the design. And as you can see, I've got the physical copy because this was a collaboration with Little Dove Designs, and I really love, and I was boring my husband to tears about this one. I really love everything that Faye from Little Dove Designs does. I love the colours, I love how everything looks. I think that it's chef's kiss. So of course, when I saw this collaboration and this cute cushion, you know I had to sign up. You know I did. And I must admit, I started this, sorry, hanging threads from, I never finished my Serge my fabrics. I started this actually on the 21st of March, so 10 days ago. I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I've only stitched on it in five stitching sessions. And I'm just putting a little bit of paper behind it. Look at that! Look how much I have managed to get stitched. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. As you can tell, I'm kind of enjoying all the spring colours, the spring vibes at the moment, especially, as you can probably tell from behind me, the sun is it's very April weather today. It's very much like, it comes over grey, it rains, it stops, it's blue skies and sun, then comes over, you know, like it's very much April weather. So yes, this is, you can see the colours really well here. So maybe I see it like this. So as you can see, I've done quite a lot. I think I don't use any trackers, so I think I'm probably about halfway, give or take. And I'll be honest, I've decided for now to put this to one side. I was going to try and power through and finish it before Easter next year. And I don't think, this year, sorry. And it must have been on Sunday afternoon, so a week to go. I turned around to my husband and I went, I don't think I'm going to get this done. And I think if I do, I'll rush it. And I won't enjoy that. So I decided that I would probably put it to one side and bring it out maybe Lent next year. And just try and stitch on it. Sorry, I'm just looking at my stitches. And try and stitch on it in Lent next year with the aim to having it finished and FFO'd, so fully finished, into the cushion, ready for Easter 2027. Oh God, that sounds scary. But equally, I might just pick it up after Easter. I might stitch on it on Easter itself. So I'm not putting it away like permanently, but I'm kind of not focusing on it for now. So yes, that was so. Which now brings me to the next portion of the video, of other stuff I've been working on. So that was my new start. That's basically been what I've stitched on this year, solely this stuff, because my stitching intention this year is to try and not clear out, but try and get through a lot of the older projects I have that I've got. You know, I always go, oh, that looks nice, I must work on this, and then work on something completely different. So my intention this year is to really try and make progress. I want to make progress on spring scrapbook, because I think that will look stunning when it's done, and it could sit sort of like on the wall behind me or the wall in front of me, which is also bare, or even like on this wall. So I kind of want to have more intentions in regard to what I'm stitching. And I kind of want to kind of not clear out, but I've got a couple of projects which you'll see in a minute, which is kind of like now, I guess, into things I've stitched on going into plans. Well, this is what I'm saying now. Like, I don't want to set proper plans and full intentions if I'm not going to keep them, because I quite enjoy the idea of flexible stitching. So stitching what I want, when I want, and not having to I don't enjoy rigid goals because then I feel like I don't enjoy my stitching, which is why I'm quite vague with the goals I set. So I say I want to make progress and stuff, but equally I don't get mad if I don't finish a goal that I set out to. You know, life gets in the way, work gets in the way, other hobbies get in the way. So yeah, I try not to be too strict, and I try to make, because stitching is a fun thing for me, so I don't want to give myself too much too much goals, too much, yeah. So when I had kind of decided maybe I'm done stitching and that's being a focus piece, I went instantly, and you can't see it, but just on, there's 3 bookcases. I like this one, so 1, 2, and there's another one further there, and a lot of my current projects are on the furthest one. I kind of went through my project bags and went, what haven't I touched in a while that will bring me joy? And I came across this next piece, and I was absolutely shocked as to how close I am to finishing and how I haven't finished it yet. And then I realised why I haven't touched it and why I probably banished it. So this is another subscription box that I subscribe to, and it's the Broderie and Colour box. So it's from Tom and Lily Créations and Le Jardin d'Emily. So you probably saw this everywhere last year. It was a collaboration with Jasmine's Made with Love, and it was a flamingo, and I must admit I had done quite a lot of it last year, and then I kind of put it to one side, I think, because other stuff came up. And I looked at it again today at the weekend, and kind of went, you know what, you're so close to finishing that, you could get another finish. So I picked it up, and I'm just going to use, because I realised the light here I do need like a bit of cardboard or something, so maybe I'm going to get a proper board at some point. Bear with me. Okay. And this is where I am. So I must admit, this wasn't, I have done some yesterday and I did some on Sunday. So I didn't have all the black and purple petals here, and everything black I didn't have here, and this wasn't here. But everything else was stuff I had left, and I had just done and just left it. So my aim is to make this my next focus piece and finish this, because I've only really got a big flower here, another one of like these doodads to go here, and some leaves, and then just do the back stitching on like these black bits, and it's done. So I'm gonna try and get this focus piece done by, I don't know, Saturday. I mean, today I'm off and I don't have many more plans after I film this, so I'm probably gonna sit down and get in the leaves here, do this doodad, and start on this big, so it's like one of these bad boys, and do this, and then try and fill it in / finish it later in the week, because Friday is a public holiday. So again, and in Germany everything is shut, you can't do anything, no shops are open, so, and the weather doesn't look so great, so we can't do certain things in the garden either. So yeah, maybe it'll be a stitching day, or some more time for stitching, let's say. So I intend on finishing this next. Just to also note that the fabric here is dyed especially for said boxes by Melanie, there we go, got the name right, from Tom and Lily Créations, as are the flosses. So, and I also subscribe to her Fabric of the Month club too. So this is going to be my next finish. So watch this space, watch Instagram, and we will see whether that finishes. Next up is a piece that I am itching to get back to, and I've told myself when I have finished the flamingo, this will be the next thing I work on, and it is the aquarium style from Lily Créations. So this is, and I apologise now for all the flosses, the string threads, and it's not ironed either. But this is where I have got to, and I must admit, I was very, oh no, definitely needs to be said. I was very surprised with the progress I had made. I didn't think I was as far through as I was. And I'm really gonna try and make this my next focus piece and finish it. I really want to do her new sound. Really, really, really want to do it. But I told myself I couldn't do any more sows until I have finished this one. I couldn't touch any Lola Crows until I have done this one. So I think that's a good motivation for me to just focus solely on this. I don't think that means that I'll then be starting the Lola Crow's stitch along this year on time, but that's fine. That's absolutely okay. It's not a problem. So I will focus on this. Sorry, I'm attached. A bit DMC. So I'm going to make this my next big focus piece because I really want it done. I thoroughly enjoyed stitching on it. Again, there's a lot of personalizations in there. When isn't there? So yeah, I really just want to get that piece done so then I can have a start. Like, I'm trying not to start too many things because my intention this year is to try and just make progress on stuff. Yes, I'm going to maybe have some starts. My God, I'm not going to stop myself because you'll see in my haul section I have quite a fair bit of haul that I really want to start too. But I really want to just make progress on this, get it kind of more finished. But we will see how far I get and we'll see what happens there. So yeah, Deadly Aquarium, this is where I am. Again, I didn't keep up with this, which again is absolutely fine. I absolutely love the fabric choice I did. I don't even know what fabric it is. I know it's a 32 count. And I know I bought it through Lindy Stitches' shop a couple of years ago, but I have no idea what the fabric is, and I know I've got it mentioned somewhere, so it's not all lost. But yeah, absolutely love the colours, love the design. So I just need to get on and put some stitches in it. So undecided whether that will be my next big focus piece, and I have like a couple of other bits that I kind of group it out with. And the last piece I really want to try and focus on in the next little while is again a piece that I got from a Broderie and Colour box. And this one was the May-June 25 one. And it looks like this. So it's this one. These were other little patterns you got in the box that I'm leaving for now. But this is what I want to do. And you'll see in a second when you ignore my floss that's hanging around. Bear with me. How much stitching I have actually done. As you can see, I've got all the wording in. I've started the jellyfish. So all I have to do is finish the jellyfish, do the little seahorse, and do some stitching on the seaweed, and do the bubbles. And it's not too much to do. But yet again, I've put it down, made good progress with it, put it down, and I guarantee you it's because I got another box from Broderie and Colour, or Colour and Cotton, or something, and I just didn't stitch it. So I'm thinking I might just make this a focus piece. Like, this is my problem, and it's very much focusing on what I want to do when I want to do it. So this might become a focus piece for the next couple of months, weeks. Who knows, guys? Who knows? And again, I feel like I'm plugging just literally Broderie and Colour. And I said just now I would have some new starts. This is going to be something I think I might start at the weekend. It's the most recent box that they have. So the March-April 26 one. And it's this gorgeous hair with all these gorgeous spring flowers. And I think if I finish the flamingo, then I start this one. I'm just going to do a couple of days on it while it's still springy. And then I start the more summery sea pieces. Because, and this is why, the threads, as I said earlier, are dyed especially for the project. Or I don't know if they're especially for the project, but they're ones that are definitely commonly. So I'm just reading a little star here. I think this one, was just dyed for the project, and the yellow, but everything else is in like a colour that they normally have. But look at these colours, and if I put them here, I think I'm actually showing very true. Look at these colours and this fabric. Also, can you tell the green is a very nice, like this literally matches my top. So yes, I'm thinking I would start this maybe at the weekend. Because I just love the colours. I think they are absolutely gorgeous. So I think I'm gonna start it and then make it like a spring focus piece for 2027. like I like seasonal stitching too. So like I enjoy stitching spring stuff in spring, summer stuff in summer, etc, etc. So I think I'm going to try and do more of that type of stitching again. So yeah, that's kind of my plans, and my plans for filming to you guys, because I realized I didn't really touch upon that and I wanted to, which is why it's hard I didn't plan any of this. I'm thinking of doing, because I always say, oh, I'll do them every month I'll come back. I don't think that's realistic for me, especially when I consider April. The 3 out of the 4 weekends that are in April, I won't be in town, or I have plans for 3 of the 4 weekends. So that's very little time to get any stitching done. I don't get much stitching done during the week. As you can probably tell, if I even just show you my planner, you'll see all of my stitching happens towards the end of the week. At the weekend, the start of the week, I don't have much time. Reason being, I try to do sports, so I try to go running, I try to do other stuff, and I generally try to do that more towards the beginning of the week, and I don't get time then in the end of the week. Sorry, I don't get much time then the beginning of the week to stitch and do everything. Plus, I'm out of the house for 12+ hours a day, which is my job, so I don't get much time, and some nights I'm just so tired I just want to go to bed and read. So I try not to put pressure on myself to do the stitching, but if I come back every week, then that means there's every month, sorry, there's no time for you, no content really. Like, oh look, I put a couple of crosses in here. It's not what I want to do. So I'm thinking of doing every 6 weeks to every 2 months. I don't like the quarter. I only did it today because I had time, but I guess let's play it by ear is essentially what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to say, for a video that I thought was going to be quite quick, if you don't want to look at the haul section, I think this will probably be where let's drop off. But if you do want to see what I've bought over the last couple of weeks, stick around. I must admit, as part of the haul section, I haven't got any of the fabric from Lily Créations because I've tidied that away already. But it is definitely a worthwhile subscription. I think it's definitely, well, you get fabrics that are basically like these kind of colours, seasonal, it's done seasonally as well, so you get seasonal themed colours. So spring is normally more brighter colours, summer is more sort of like your beach colours, winter is like your nice dark, autumn is, yeah, you know, it just kind of fits the seasons. That being said, I would thoroughly recommend looking at anything that Melanie's doing. I love her customer service as well, it's very good, so thank you. So let's look at a haul, and I'm sorry it's crinkly and I didn't take things out of their packaging, please forgive me. I put an order in with, oh, I can't even remember the name of the store. I think it was with Jan Hicks. I can't remember the name of the store though. I'll link below, if I remember. So, I've seen the cross-stitched rainbow, X-stitched rainbow patterns for the last couple of times at Nashville. And I've always thought, oh, they look quite nice, they look really cool. So when I saw said shop, so I need to pause this and go and look at the name, hold on. Okay, I'm back. It is Mon Aiguille Fileté. I don't speak French, I speak German, but French is not my jam. So it is, and I'm just gonna cover it up so you can see, is that name. When I saw they were going to Nashville from their website, I got excited and I put some orders in. So I ordered, and I saw it's in its packaging still, the gorgeous colours from Cotton Gun Threads, which is the colour palette for the next designs you'll see. I've ordered as well from Cotton Gun before, love it. I still need to use them properly. It was for the Hearts for Jam, which also is something I want to start looking at too. Dilemmas. Anyway, so these are the patterns I genuinely spoke to me from the Beneath the Waves patterns. So this is this year's Cross Stitch the Rainbow. So the idea is that multiple designers have to design using only these colours. So the first one I went for was from Tiny Modernist, and it was this whale. I cannot get over how cute he is. I think he's gorgeous. And next one was from Sprouting Lupine Sea Flyer. and I just thought the ray was adorable, super cute. Then it was the Stitch Crypt, and it was Deep Sea Dumbo. I just thought this guy, he just made me smile so much. So, and last but not least from this little group is Counting Petals Bubble Seahorse. And I could not with that. It was so cute. The colours just sang to me. So, if I have starts in the future, you might just see like these little ones going on, because I thought that's a nice little thing to have too. However, that was not all from my haul. Again, this is in its packaging, I'm sorry. This is from Annie Turner, and I don't know what the proper stitcher, sorry. And I just thought to have courage and be kind is so lovely with everything that's going on at the moment. So I'm trying to work out whether I go for a light fabric or a dark fabric, and then the colours, but to be defined. And to be honest, I quite like the dark one. The dark one really, really sang to me. I just love the wording, and I've wanted to do Quakers for quite some time, and I haven't quite jumped into it yet. I keep looking at Lily Studios and her seasonal Quakers, so like the summer one, the winter one, but I haven't quite jumped, but bit in the bullet there. So I thought I would start with something smaller and see whether I liked this. So this is gonna be something that I say smaller. This is something I'm gonna try. Next up was also in Stitchery with this gorgeous pattern, and I must admit the colours on this just sang to me as well. So this might be something I start soonish, let's see. And last but not least, I got the pattern. I also got some fabrics, but I've tidied them away. Like fabrics, I seem to tidy away very quickly. And last but not least is Blooming Quakers from Hello from Liz Matthews. And I must admit, I didn't realise this at the time, but I've got a fabric in my haul that I had from Nashville that's very much this colour. So, and again, Quakers, I'm going to try and see whether, let's see whether I go for these. But I just thought the colours were gorgeous. I think it's also very simple, very cute, and I just love how the Quakers are the flowers. I thought that was such a nice quirky design. So again, just trying the Quaker pattern and seeing whether I get on with it. So, nearly finished, I promise, at 40 minutes, geez. Last but not least is an order I put in with Forbidden Fibre Co. Which I will show first, the penguin one. So this was a penguin design, which I may have paid for. I did. Let me just see whether I can find the pattern. Yes, so this is the pattern. Again, sorry, everything's all in crinkles still. This is the pattern. Super cute. Cannot get over how cute this needle minder is too. And this one I actually have in Ada. It's Glass Light Ada. I don't know where this is going to show up so well, but these are the flossers, and I cannot get over how gorgeous they are. Like, look at these. They are absolutely stunning. Oh, you can't see them, my favourite one, huh? This one I think is gorgeous, as are these two blues, and they're going to look stunning in this colour palette. So that's the first one I've ordered, and obviously I won't start this until winter, as I said, because I'm very much a seasonal stitcher, but it's here now, it's ready, and I also cannot get over how cute everything. Is that a zipper bullets? Oh. So yeah, this, love it, can't wait. And something I might start in the summer actually was the Winnie the Pooh one design that they released. So obviously it's 100, I think it's 100 years of Winnie the Pooh this year. So to celebrate, there was also a design that the team have come up with there, and this one I did order on Lugana. I'm trying to shape up my stitching essentially. So the pattern will look very much like this. I thought it was really cute. It's like a sampler type thing with Winnie the Pooh. And it's also like, look at the cute little figures too. So yeah, and there's a gorgeous old school style needle minder, that's the word. So this is a gorgeous fabric. It's called Vanilla Cream. Kind of can't see it anyway in the light. And the flossers I think are stunning. I swear stunning is like the word I use all the time now. But they are so cute. bear with me, I'm just prepping them for you so we can maybe see a bit of how they will look. And there we go. So look at these are so nice. So I think I might start this one in the summer because it's just like these colours, and it just makes me happy in summery. So we will see when I start those. So yeah, as I said, plans for, oh yeah, the zipper pull here, sorry, is a cute honey pot. And yeah, I also got two gorgeous thread sets as well when I ordered. So it's a nice variegated blue called Twice Best Water. So yeah, that has basically been what I've touched in this so far this year, stitching wise, what I've ordered and bought so far this year and the stitching it. I'm trying to be more intentional too with my spending, because I'm conscious I've got a lot of stuff in stash, so I'm trying to stitch more from stash. She says having just bought a load of patterns and a load of, but the patterns I will stitch from stash, like the pattern colour, the fabrics and everything I will source myself. So yeah, my plans for the next couple of weeks is to just stitch on what makes me happy. Finish the flamingo, try and finish Deadly Aquarium, or make some more progress. So the next time that I check in with you guys, when I guess in May at some point, which might actually be a good idea because May there's loads of holidays hit too, and I have more time to stitch. So yes, I'll try and check in with you in May and have some progress to show you. It might not be a lot, but it'll be some. Not as much as this probably, but let's see. Let's be positive. Let's see whether I just even find half an hour during the week extra than I am now. So yeah, that's it. I will try and upload this later today. Let's see. And yes, so hopefully you're all doing well. You're all enjoying your stitching, and I'll try not to leave it so long next time. Bye.